And we're back with part 2 of our How to Play a Modpack series. So to start with, I did adjust a few things. So you may notice a little bit quality increase, hopefully with voice and different things like that. Had to go pick up some stuff, so I got a lot of crap in my inventory. So this particular episode is going to be about duplication of ore, or I guess you could say getting the most out of your ore, like doubling it. The refinery is the easiest thing to make. Now, unfortunately, it's only got a 50% chance. It is the easiest to make, but it's not always. I noticed it hasn't worked on all the ores. It is only about a 50% chance for it to work. And what about on this thing? Maybe by all the ores, none at all. We'll put a piece of gold. That's a regular one. So if you have gold and iron, you could use this. It's very easy to craft. It's just 5 actual stone, 3 iron, and you get a 50% chance to get 2. See if we actually, if it is 50% chance. I don't know. I have bad luck with getting this to roll double, but it is very easy to make, and it does allow you to get, well then, 3rd time's a charm, maybe? And it does allow you to get a little bit more ore than you would normally get. Now, I mean, it's like I said, it's very easy to craft, so you can craft it starting out. Wow. Let's put both in there. Put 2 in and see if we have still 2 in there. So the other thing you can do is you can actually power up. You can make, I usually go this route, use Ender IO stuff. Basically, you have to make a Stirling generator, which will then power your slag mill. And this is actually an alloy smelter. It is needed for some of the cablings and stuff. You'll also have to make this, but it works as kind of more as like a furnace. And this you can put in all the different types of ore. You'll see it'll process it and it'll double it, and it'll basically turn it into polarized. Okay, this time worked. We put in 2, we got 4 back. So you can see it does give you double ore a little bit. So this is going through the process now. We put, this was a 100% chance. Move all 3 of those, and we'll get 6 back. So it's a good way to get extra materials because you'll be burning through stuff fairly quick with this. And that's still firing. So the other thing is a pulverizer. I used to do a lot of thermal expansion stuff, and then went to Ender IO just because I really like it. Thermal expansion works kind of the same way as getting power. We go ahead and throw in some lead. We should get more pulverized lead. Now the nice thing about thermal expansion is it does give you a chance to get another property. So in this case we didn't. If we did go ahead and throw like a whole stack of tin in there, maybe not a whole stack, but you can see it will smelt it all way down. Yeah, I would do that. The other thing is if you started doing the Tinker's Construct, the tools I showed you in the first video, you can increase it by making a tool for it, or a smeltery. Now, this is another good way of duplicating the ores to get double the value back, kind of like what we have here, because what you can do is, and let's go ahead and pop this thing off because I want to save some of that power, and this should have enough power to go through the rest of it, hopefully. If not, I can fill it back up a little bit. So this thing's pretty easy to make. You need to make this particular structure, do a 3x3 base, so 9 blocks total on the base, and then 3 on each side. So we have basically 6, 7, 8, and 9 actually more blocks you need to get this started. Now this is a very basic one. I didn't want to get. You can build these up, make a second layer so you can hold more. So the way this works is it's a multi-block structure. So when you do this particular layout, you go in your smeltery and you can drop things in here, and it will basically melt it down. Will it do stone? It may do stone. I don't know. Take that back out. So basically we'll melt things down. This does have to be powered by lava. So you just go as you're doing your caving, get a few buckets of lava, bring them up here, dump them in here, and it will start using that. And you do have to incorporate a drain. So it has to have the drain, lava tank, and the controller in order to work. Now you have to make a faucet, and all this stuff. And you know, I just realized I didn't. Let's do tinkers. Where is the pieces? We can use these. So you have to make a drain. It's basically 6 seared brick. You have to make a controller, which is 8 of them. You have to make a faucet, which is just the 3 of these like that. Same way you do a bucket with iron. You have to make a casting table. Now you can put multiple drains. Like we have one back at our main base that has 4 drains. You can put them on any sides as long as it just has them. Now you can make the casting basin. This is nice for if you have, you know, if you throw in like 5 bars and it gives you 9 or 10 liquid metal. You can use the casting basin to take out 9 of that into a block, and then you can break the block down into ingots, or you can just sit there and make a mold. You do have to originally get this, you do have to put gold in here. As far as to make a cast, you have to put gold in there, put an ingot, click on this, your faucet, and it will pour the liquid gold out onto the ingot, and that'll make your starter frame for your ingot. And you know, to kind of go through that. Did run out of power, but it did look like we got some iron from smelting that, so you do get a little bit of a bonus from that, which is good. I'll go back to those. So how you make these bricks is you have to make grout. Now grout is sand, gravel, and clay. Very easy to get. Usually you start by a river or something like that, so as you're collecting, you know, sugar cane and food and other stuff that you need to start out with, go ahead and get some sand, some gravel, and some clay so you make these grout blocks. And the grout blocks you just fire up in one of your you know, in a furnace, in a redstone furnace if you're using thermal expansion, and you make these seared bricks. Now the seared bricks, you do a 4x4 pattern, and it will turn it into an actual brick. So I'll show you. Now one thing I recommend is, I do not recommend doing this and going ahead and making all of them into bricks, because you need this base seared, or I should say blocks. No, they're all called bricks. You need the base seared ones like these to make a lot of the parts for the smeltery. So you want to make all the parts you need first, then convert everything over to seared bricks the actual way, to fill in, you know, to do the bottom and to fill in the sides and the gaps that you have left over. So it's very important. I've done it many of times where I've sit here and did this, and shift clicked and just went ahead and crafted everything that I had in those with these bricks, and I had to go get more grout and fire it back up again because of it. So, and that's pretty much it for ore duplication. We did just update the Modpack, or we just updated our server running the Modpack to the newest version that's released, and it does have Mechanism. I believe Mechanism does have a way of doing it as well, but I'm not familiar with Mechanism too much. These seem to be the easiest way. You can try out the refinery if you want. You can, I prefer the sag mill just because you get extra bonuses too, or the pulverizer, which is nice as well. So, I don't know, do we have a little bit left in there? Yeah, we do. So we can put that in there. And yeah, sometimes with this you'll actually get cobble back too. You can fill up some of these. So you can see it does all come out as like even though there's multiple ore types, it all comes out as like some of the pulverized stuff, like the tin and lead and stuff that is actually from thermal foundation or thermal expansion. So if you are watching this and you know of any other ways that I may have missed on duplicating ore, go ahead and put a comment down below. But for the most part, these are going to be your basic 4 things to start out with, and then you'll get into kind of some more. Well, ran out of power. Oh well. Then you'll get into some more complicated stuff. But for that being said, it should end this part 2 of how to play a mod pack. Next episode, we'll probably be looking into more energy and ways of generating energy. And oh, real quick, the other thing you can do, now this is a new mod to me. Before I leave, you can look at Xnyla. Xnyla, or I'm probably saying it, Xnyla. Yeah, you can look at this. So if you're familiar with Sky Factory, or some of the Agrarian Skies, you probably are familiar with making a barrel. You know, putting saplings and stuff into the barrel, stack it and make dirt. You know, you can let that sit in different ways to make sand and dust, and then you can grind down. You can sift through it, and like I'm sifting through this gravel, and you can get pieces of ore out of it. And so that's another way of getting free ore that you can do without having to mine. So technically you can set this up where you have to spam click it. I have this going all automatically through a series of different events that comes out as being nice. Oh, that's still messed up. But nice pulverized items. Let that go through the pulverizer too. And it just comes right back out as you know, pulverized ore. So I can talk about this later. It's a little bit more advanced stuff I have going, but yep. So that's another option. You can look at that to manually or eventually automatically get ores as well. So hopefully you enjoyed this particular episode of how to play a mod pack. This has been Kinema, and I'll talk to you later.